Hello Reborners, my name is Karen and this is Making Dolls with Karen. We're back again with Caspian. This should be his last layer. We're going to be doing the blush now. Here it is, and here he is. And when I finish Caspian, I'm going to start on my waterborne paints. They came today and I am just tickled. I really want to try them. And I'm going to be doing, I think I've chosen Kate. She's an artist kit by Bountiful Baby, and she's very cute. I was going to do her really soon anyway, but now I haven't sealed her. She's one of the dolls I haven't sealed yet. I read in the instructions you cannot mix this paint with any sort of heat set paint. They won't work together. So they have their own little stuff. It's called base coat. I think this is it. Yeah, clear base coat that you put on the doll first. So it's going to take a little longer to make a doll with this because like you have to put the base coat on, and I think you have to wait till the next day to start painting it. I'm pretty sure the instructions were very clear on well, they seemed clear. I'm going to try out what I learned, and it seemed very clear as to what to mix together to start painting. It was not like that other paint that I used. There was too much muddy waters in that other paint. I just couldn't decide what I was supposed to do. But this paint is very clear. It has a whole little instruction booklet here on how to mix the paints up and everything, and so I'm going to be following that, and we'll mix together. I'm pretty sure my tipster will tell me if I'm doing anything wrong. I'm going to be using a little bit of distilled water. I have some. Anyway, we're gonna paint Caspian with this 2 coats of this blush. Give him a little bit of color in his face, and then we're gonna tip his nails. And then he's going right back in for another bake, and he'll be ready for his hair when he comes out. And also with this air dry paint, you have to wait, I think it said 48 hours up to a week before you start doing things like putting the eyes in or rooting hair, just to make sure the paint is cured, I guess, so you won't get a rub, I guess. And so I'm going to be following the instructions explicitly. I want to make this successful. I want to see how I like it. If I like the way the doll looks, I'm probably going to do more of them. If I don't, I'll probably not. But I'm going to probably do at least 2 dolls. I'm not sure about that, but I'm pretty sure. Unless it's a complete flop. If I just flop at it, I probably won't use another kit because, like I said before, kits are expensive. And I need to not waste any kits. So I'm going to do Kate first, and then I'm going to see how she comes out, and if I like her, I'm going to do another doll. So we're going to see. I'm going to put her up next to a heat set doll, and we're going to do lots of comparisons and analogies about the 2 different kinds of paint, what the pros and the cons are, what I think is the strong suit of each one of them and the weaknesses of them, everything. We're going to talk about it. And then people who do one or the other can make an informed decision on whether they want to try the opposite. When I was doing heat set, when I first started doing heat set, I didn't even know there was an air dry option. Didn't even know it. And then I discovered, Bountiful Baby was selling golden paint, and that's an air dry. And I didn't even know that was what it was for. I was just doing the Genesis because that's what everybody did. I just thought it was another option for heat set, but I didn't even try it. Didn't even buy any, and because I was real satisfied with the Genesis. But then later I found out that air dry was also an option. You could actually buy these air dry paints, and you could actually do it without baking. Well, I didn't even think about that I would even want to do that. I was very satisfied with heat set, and I don't know. It just never dawned on me that I should try another way. And so I didn't. And over time, I met, well, I didn't meet. I have a friend that lives in Missouri, and we've never met face to face. We just FaceTime and video chat and stuff. And she was doing air drying. She was telling me about the problems she was having with it and everything. And I suggested she try heat set. When she messed around with it a little longer, and then she decided to give it a try. I sent her some little jars of paint that I had so she could, help her try it out, just, samples and stuff. And she tried it and she liked it. And so she got all the stuff and started doing heat set. And she inspired me to try air dry. But I was trying that kind you just go in a craft store and just pick up. It wasn't specifically made for reborn dolls. And it was not very successful. I didn't record it because I wanted to try it out first, and I just didn't like it at all. So I didn't even advance on to a doll that I was going to record. I just went right straight back to heat set, and I didn't even worry about it anymore. And then later on, months and months later, I decided that maybe I hadn't given heat set a fair shake. So I bought a specific brand of heat set paint. I mean, air dry. I said heat set, didn't I? I didn't give air dry a fair shake. So I bought a specific brand of heat set air dry paint that that was specifically designed for reborn dolls. And I thought maybe that's why I didn't get one that was designed to make reborn dolls and to stick on vinyl. Most craft paints just don't stick on vinyl. Anyway, so I bought that and I used it, and I think I've told y'all numerous times that I made a beautiful doll out of it. And it took me forever, I mean just forever, to do it, but I stuck with it and I got it finished. I couldn't decide what to do next, and they had so many little concoctions that you put into the paint that I didn't know what to put in. And I was very, very confused. But I went on, I pressed through, and I made a doll, and it was gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. The only problem was it was very, very shiny, and I could not get the shine out. And so I was very disturbed by it. I left it sit for days and days, thinking maybe it's just not dry, And nothing changed. It was super, super shiny. And I coated it with so many coats of matte sealer, and it didn't matte it at all. It was still very, very shiny. So I got mad and I stripped the doll and I redid him with heat set. And I said, no more. And I just threw out I just bought the tiniest little bottles they had of the air dry because, well, when you're trying something new, you don't want to spend a lot of money if it's not going to work out. So and these are pretty big bottles considering they're the smallest ones they have, and they weren't very expensive. So I'm thinking maybe this paint might be a little better. I'm hoping anyway. I really don't know for sure if it's going to be any better at all until I try it. And so I'm keeping an open mind because, like I said in the last video, I'm thinking about doing it in the wintertime when it's too cold outside and I don't want to go out there and put my dolls in an oven outside, And if that works out, if I'm liking it a real lot, I might just change. But I sure do have a lot of stuff. I'm going to be finishing up what I do have in heat set if I change. I'm going to be at least finishing up what I have in heat set first. I mean, kind of switching back and forth probably. Because like I said, when you're having to wait till tomorrow to put some more paint on an air dry doll, I could be painting on a heat set doll. Right? I think. And getting it in the oven and getting it baked and stuff. It's nice to not have to bake, but if you have to wait anyway, I don't see much difference. It was saying in the instructions here, I guess the lady who developed the paint, she was going, I do this and I do that. So she must be the one who put out the little brochure about the paint, and she's the one who probably developed the paint. And she said, just because you don't have to bake doesn't mean you can put on another coat immediately. You need to wait 5 minutes at least. And I go, okay, that's about equal to bacon, 8 minutes for bacon. But you don't have to wait for anything to cool. That's a plus right there. Once you bake your doll, you still have to wait for it to cool. It's scalding hot. You can't paint it that way. And so this one you don't have to. You just wait 5 minutes and you put on your next coat. And she said she always waits 5 minutes in between every coat. And so I'm going to do that too. I'm going to try to do it the way she says to do it because she is the expert. And it'll be a little bit better than something I just try to make up on my own. She did say every artist finds their little niche, so to speak, you know, the way you want to do it, and you tweak it to your own desires, and just like any other paint, your colors and your how thick you make your paint and stuff. And it seems to me, like reading the instructions, that it's almost a 50-50 mix with water. It said put 3 or 4 drops in a little container, like a bowl or, you know, a jar or something, and then put 3 or 4 drops of water. So, and then you can put in like the flow medium or the slow dry stuff, and it's like almost half and half, you know. And but I'm gonna read it again and make sure I'm doing it correctly. And I don't know how much to mix to be able to cover a doll with it. I mean, I just don't know. They gave me a little sponge that's like these, and a little sponge that looks like a dish sponge kind of. It's just looks like a cellulose sponge. I don't know what it's made out of, but and she called it a honeycomb sponge. It's got, you know, the little holes in it like the ones you wash your dishes with. And she said it's best to apply with that. I think my tipster said she applied hers with brushes. I don't really know, but okay, we're gonna let him dry real good, and I'm gonna just apply one more coat. I don't have to be online to do it. I need to start supper, and then I'll come back and put his second coat on and get him in the oven, and he'll be ready to get his hair after that. And I'm gonna say thank you for watching Caspian's series, and please like, subscribe, and share, and happy reborning.